We're going to talk like nonsense today, I think. I don't
rumors.
know. Like,
rumors, what is it? Right? We're doing rumors.
We're doing rumors. Yeah, we're doing like rumors and speculation. And like, we'll talk about how like viable some of that stuff is. For instance, the salary cap leapt up to $254 million, a $30 million leap in terms of salary cap space per team, the largest jump in NFL history. Breach. Is it because of Taylor Swift?
You know what? I'll tell you that I do love the idea of this. I absolutely love the idea of this. Taylor Swift shows up and every NFL player is now indebted to her because she played a role in the salary cap going up $30 million. That would be amazing. But I don't feel like this one. I think this cap was going to make a giant leap. We should take a drink. Every time we say leap on leap year. But every time, this felt like it was going to happen no matter what. You had, obviously, the new media deal kicked in 2023. So this was the first year where the NFL saw those payments from the new media deal. Plus, as the league explained, all the COVID was paid back because some of the guys were able to, they cut back totally on their financials in 2020 and 2021. All that money's been paid back. So this is where it was going to go up. 30 million is probably still surprising. But there was always going to be a huge jump from 2023 to 2024.
Yeah. It's, I think it's, the NFL was asked about it, by the way, in the official quote, as you can see here on YouTube, youtube.com/@NFL on CBS. The giant leap in the salary cap is partially the result of the full repayment of all amounts advanced by the clubs and deferred by the players during the COVID-19 pandemic, as well as significant new media deals coinciding with recent regular season and playoff expansion. The NFL had to say this because the salary cap leapt so big that people actually thought Taylor Swift might have caused it. Taylor Swift definitely caused the most watched Super Bowl ever, but I think it probably is the most watched Super Bowl ever without Taylor Swift because we got overtime, Chiefs and 49ers, Patrick Mahomes, high drama. And yes, this is a fun little conspiracy theory, but not grounded in reality. It is sort of, and you know what's interesting, Breach, you're kind of going to see this in the combine in terms of, and I think in terms of the draft class, there are a lot of older players and have been a lot of older players over the last few years because these guys got COVID years added onto their college careers. And there is a theory out there that this season may be the year in which there's a massive drop-off. Like it's a really heavy top-end talented draft class. 3 big quarterbacks, tons of wide receivers, like an insane amount of wide receivers. We talked about it with Josh Edwards. But like there's going to be this drop-off on the backside, and teams may not be willing to move back as much early in the draft in exchange for like 5th, 6th, 7th round picks because they don't see as much talent on the back end of the draft. And I think that is sort of like the back end of the bell curve of these COVID years being added to college seasons.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that is going to play a big part in what we see on day 3, where all the trades are usually made in the draft, where you're talking about the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th rounds. And as you're saying, look, the draft is already a lottery. Now it's a total crapshoot because you have no idea what you're going to be getting because you had just all these guys who were in college longer than usual, just guys who didn't play. It was just a completely slightly different competitive balance in 2020 and 2021. So it will be interesting how the draft breaks down this year. The other thing about the salary cap that the NFL mentioned was the playoff format. Let's not forget that Amazon just paid $150 million to air one playoff game. And that was after Peacock paid about $100 million to air one playoff game on streaming. And the NFL is going to do that going forward. They're going to auction off one playoff game every year. And based on how the ratings are just shooting through the roof, especially the past 2 seasons, that people are going to pay a lot of money to get that game for their streaming service. So that helps out with the salary cap also.
Yep, for sure. And the NFL likes to have a lot of properties competing for, or excuse me, a lot of companies competing for its properties, right? Like for years, it's just, ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox. And now with the advent of streaming, you're seeing situations where the NFL wants to make sure that it can keep raising the price of these playoff games by farming them out to different spots. That's why they want Amazon to have a playoff game and just to buy a la carte, because I think the NFL is a forward thinking in terms of its media. In terms of its media, like the NFL is always reactionary in terms of like on-field stuff, but in terms of its media rights and all that stuff, the NFL is extremely forward thinking. A lot of sharp owners on those media committees. Brian Roloff at the league office does a great job with it. Hans Schroeder.
Brent, let me ask you one Taylor Swift question, though. What happens if you're the NFL? Are you calling up Taylor Swift this offseason and doing everything possible to get her to play the Super Bowl 59 halftime show in New Orleans?
Yes. Well, maybe. Where's Super Bowl 60?
San Francisco.
I'm thinking about maybe like trying to long play it to Super Bowl 60. She's still probably going to be popular in 2 years. The only reason I say that is like New Orleans. I mean, yeah, well, actually, I take that back. Beyonce did the last Super Bowl in New Orleans. So yes, yeah. You were trying to get her to do everything possible to get her to do that.
And then the ratings shoot through the roof. Then you get 200 million people watching because you have the game and Taylor Swift.
Well, what happens if like she and Kelsey break up and the Chiefs go back to the Super Bowl?
Then you get 300 million people watching because they all want to see what happens.
Oh my God, she would sing about her ex-boyfriend on stage. Oh my God, you're right. That's a great point. All right.
Oh my God, that would be the most watched concert in the history.
If they broke up the month, like right before the playoffs and the Chiefs made a Super Bowl run and Taylor Swift was already locked into the Super Bowl, it would be the most watched concert of all time.
And then like 3 days before, she starts touting that she has 2 new songs for the Super Bowl.
Oh my God. Yes. It's like loose end. Like this new album, Loose End, is coming out.
Okay. But if this is a fake relationship, I don't think it is. But people were throwing that around a few months ago. That is how it would end, because that would be maximum publicity with a breakup right before the Super Bowl with Taylor Swift as the halftime show and
that is
Travis Kelce.
100%. 100%.